And we're back here inside the Drubner Center for the second matchup of today's game. Post University taking on Bridgeport in this final game of the year. No seniors to honor before today's game, so we'll hop right into it. Mike Vesci joining you alongside women's soccer senior defender Bianca Stiles for the call on this one. Bianca, welcome to the broadcast. It's her first time on it. She's nervous, but we'll make sure that we lighten the mood for this one.
Thank you for having me.
Bianca was down at the Caldwell University game that the Eagles had a few days ago and got to watch them down there. Bianca, what do the Eagles have to do today that they didn't do against Caldwell to get this win?
I would just say definitely making their shots a little bit more accurate and just staying up with the intensity that they've been having the last few games that I've been here, for sure.
Yeah, at times the Eagles' offense has kind of waned, and then they kind of falter on defense as well, as right there, Purple Knights getting an early basket. A lot of scenarios in play for this game, unfortunately, for the Eagles. We really won't have an idea of where they're playing, when they're playing, who they're playing until the afternoon is done. Whereas with the women, we kind of knew coming in what we were expecting. That's going to be a foul called there on D'Souza to start things off. Bloomfield playing Caldwell. Caldwell's eliminated from the CACC tournament contention altogether with a loss. With a win, though, it complicates things in terms of who wins what. We heard Shane Doyle talking about one scenario where about 3 different teams have to lose, and we need to win to be able to get a certain seed. So there's a lot of different scenarios. We're not going to be able to go through them all today, unfortunately, as the day goes on. Warnock misses that one, gets the rebound for 2. And the Eagles on the scoreboard now, tying it up at 2 here in the first half. Bridgeport, though, quickly getting through that press. And that jumper right there from Dillon, no good. Coming the other way with it is Dieng. Harris is going to turn that one over. There's Atermendi, who forced the turnover. Now back in transition the other way are the Purple Knights. That's D'Souza down at the baseline. And now Atermendi with it. Trying to back down Dieng. He's going to try for the step-back jumper. No good. Rebounded there by Rob Sanders. Eagles trying to push in transition the other way. They've only got one person. Oh! Dang, Dieng with the slam. And the Eagles go up 4-2 early in this one. A great outlet pass there. And Post up 4-2. Got to have this game to have a chance at a home playoff game. Bridgeport, and this is my mistake earlier, the women's team was in the tournament. It's Bridgeport men who are out of the tournament. So they're trying to play a little bit of spoiler to the playoff seeding, whereas the Bridgeport women are already in the tournament. That was settled a few days ago already. Now, Icott coming down the court with it. Gonna get that off to Quest Harris. Harris on the outside to Sanders for 3. No good. Rebounded there by Dieng, and he's gonna miss his easy layup there. Rebounded by Dillon. I believe we're gonna get a foul called there on Rob Sanders. Bianca, you see defense played like this at this pace. You play women's soccer, obviously. What's it like playing that sort of defense compared to defense in this kind of environment?
I would definitely say just because the court is so much smaller, I feel like you're always under the intense amount of pressure, making sure they aren't trying to get a basket, whereas playing defense with soccer, it's such a big field. So it kind of eases the pressure until you get into the box, if that makes sense.
You have a lot more space to work with from end line to end line. And we're going to get a timeout, it looks like. No, it looks like there was a warning issued to somebody. Yeah, somebody on post did something, it looks like, because Coach Kuntz not happy after that. I think, if I had to guess, it was Harrison Warnock, because Warnock and Kuntz are talking back and forth right now about something. And they're having a little bit of an exchange about it. I kind of missed it after the basket there, what happened. Now we're running some time off the clock, so might have been a game clock issue because they just ran about 5-6 seconds off of the clock. Nope, now they brought it back up. So we're back to 17:35, and now the Bridgeport head coach talking to the scorer's table about it. and the referees. And now our grad assistant, Jack Olson, is talking to the head coach of Bridgeport about it. And we'll get things going again. It's 6-4 in favor of Bridgeport. They're going with the full court press. Quest Harris up the court with it. He's at the top of the key, and now Dieng tries to work inside. Acot's got it, back out to Dieng. He's gonna work his way inside. And now Acot back on the outside with it. Jumper, short. Rebounded there by Dieng though. He's gonna hook around. It looked like he hooked around the Bridgeport defender, no call. They'll play on. Wide open shooter here, Sanders, no good at the buzzer. That's rebounded there by Dylan. Coming the other way with it are the Purple Knights, kicking it back outside to Dylan. And now the jumper there from Collins, short. Warnock's got it. Back the other way with it comes Post. Quest Harris tries to get inside, pushes around the defender. He's going to lose it, and that's going to be picked up by Itermendi. The other way, layup, good for two by Dylan. Those baskets in transition are going to be key. Bianca, I'm sure you're familiar with when there's a change of possession like that in the middle of a soccer field, how things can get ugly pretty fast.
Yes, I do feel like this is going to be quite a close game.
Acot with the miss there. Now the other way comes Bridgeport with it. Now they're going to almost get a turnover there. It looks like, nope, Sanders can't get it. He dives after it, and now that's going to be a three. You can't see the number on him. That was Dawson with the miss. Warnock with the rebound out to Dieng. Dieng's got it. Works his way inside. Count the basket and one. Dieng to the line for one. Eagles still trailing though, 8-6. Eagles got off to that hot start this year. We're rolling through a bunch of NCAA tournament teams from a year ago. And then once conference play started up, they started to stumble a little. It's an interesting scenario that you're in today if you're Post, because on one side of it, as Acot's going to get the rebound and kick it out to Sanders for three, he's got it. Eagles take the lead 9-8. It's a very interesting scenario if you're Post. And the reason being is a win for Bloomfield might knock you out of a home playoff game in the quarterfinals, but it knocks out Caldwell University. Because if Caldwell gets in, you're 0-2 against them. Not to mention, Caldwell is the host site for the semifinals and finals of the CACC tournament. So it's kind of pick your poison right now for the Eagles in terms of take care of business today, but who do you root for in the road game? As we almost just had a collision right up here in front of us between Sanders and Delgado. Post ball. Taquan Williams into the game for the Eagles. Kyle Elsey also out there. He dealt with a head injury earlier this year. He's starting to see more minutes. He scored double figures in the last 2 games. That layup's good. The Eagle lead, now up to 3. And that pressure from the the Post defense, forcing a turnover there. It looks like, yep, Elsey's going to grab that. It's going to be post ball. Elsey now in trouble, though. Finally finds an outlet to Acot. Acot has Trail in front of him. Sanders from the logo. No. Rebounded there by nobody yet, and now it's going to be picked up by D'Souza. Now Trail with it the other way. We got Bianca keeping an eye on the out-of-town scoreboard, so Bianca, you can give us updates on that throughout the first half.
Of course.
As she's keeping an eye on Caldwell and Bloomfield. Going to be a foul called there on Sanders. Delgado to the line. There's 2 5s out there. Sanders, it looks like he's about to come out for Trey Duncan. A lot of overlapping numbers on these teams to keep track of. And Delgado will have a chance to bring this down to a 1-point game. Derek Thomas, the second, coming in. 14:46 remaining here in the first half. Delgado makes the first off the front of the rim and the back. In the early going, Bridgeport shooting 50% from the field, Post shooting 41.7. Eagles making one of their 4 3-pointers. Bridgeport 0 for. Now we got a rebound there by Bridgeport off the missed, after the missed free throw, similar to what we saw on the other end. And Kyle Alsey thought it was Post ball, and Mark Kuntz yelling at him to wake up, as he was unaware of whose ball it was. Every game is crucial right now for Post, not just because it's the end of the regular season, but kind of like I talked about the women's, you want to take momentum into the playoffs. That's Delgado with it. Offensive foul. Acott draws it. It'll be Post ball here with a 2-point lead. You know, we talk a lot about momentum too. Bianca, your team wasn't obviously in the CACC tournament this year, but last year going into it, how important was it to gain momentum going into the CACC tournament, even if you guys dropped that first round matchup?
Yes, it was very, very important trying to gain the momentum getting into the tournament. Obviously this year we weren't as lucky, but definitely next year it's definitely a goal for us.
When you're able to take a few wins into the CACC tournament, or any tournament for that matter, it's a much different experience for your players. As Thomas for 3, he's got it. Thomas the second with the 3. Eagles expand their lead. But momentum, like I said, going into the playoffs big. It can help shape your tournament run. And ultimately, if Post doesn't win the CACC championship on the men's side, they may still have a chance for an at-large, given how many teams that they've beaten that were in the NCAA tournament just a year ago. So a lot of things to focus on. Is that's going to be a foul there by, it looks like, Kyle Alsey. Dexter Brook going to go to the line, and Coach Kuntz not happy with, it looks like, Alsey on that. Again, the Eagles already at 18 wins this year, which is the magic number I've heard the coaching staff talk about getting to. And with wins against Bentley, against Assumption, and a few other teams, Stack, who's nationally ranked at one point, those are big wins that go on your resume. They got one win against Bloomfield, didn't beat Caldwell, and Caldwell was a tournament team last year, but they got to the 18-win mark, and they're ranked 3rd right now in the NCAA East region poll that came out. So all those factors work in your favor, but you've got to take care of business as much as possible. And as I was talking to somebody from a Division III school earlier this year, we had a clock issue. As I was talking to another SID at another Division III school who's currently in the midst of the basketball tournament, he was saying, don't leave it up to chance ever. It's best that you just win your conference championship, and that way you have the automatic bid in rather than hoping that the NCAA committees put you in as an at-large. And that's probably the mentality that Post University is going to have going into the tournament, that it's boom or bust. You got to get the job done. And right now in the CACC on the men's side, there's really no clear-cut favorite to win it all. Everybody has lost their fair share of games against each other, and no one's really pulled away from another team. 13.5 to go here. Quest Terrace getting it over to Warnock. And now that's Duncan out there. Duncan up top at the point, guarded heavily by Ertermendi. Thomas the second. Over to Quest Harris. Harris on a quest to the basket, and he's got it for 2. Eagles up by 5. Now with a trap in the corner with Jacobs, going to get a timeout called here for Bridgeport. And Bianca, what do you think has been key for Post starting out this game ahead by 5, 7 minutes into it, and just under 7 minutes into it? What's been their key so far?
I mean, based off what I watched on Wednesday, their shots are definitely a little bit more accurate. I don't know if that's to do with having maybe a smaller court here at Post. Yeah.
Well, fortunately for them, the court size is the same no matter where they go. The end lines are a little bit different.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Whereas sometimes on the soccer field, I know different teams play at different size pitches. When I was where I was at my previous school, they would talk about going to WestCon and playing on a bigger field as opposed to their field. The dimensions, I guess, there's different ones. A pretty familiar referee crew as well. Looking around, obviously I don't have the names on me of the refs, but at least 2 of the 3 have been here for most of the games this year at Post. So very familiar with the whole shebang here at the university, as They get back into it, and that jumper there, can't see the number on him. He was faced away. That's Jacobs. He's going to stay here because it was off of a post player.
I was just pulling up the score of the last time they played Bridgeport, and it was a very close game of win for Post, 61-58.
Yeah, that one was another one down to the wire. That was when the Eagles were in their midst of their mini skid.
Yeah.
Towards the beginning of conference play. That's going to be a dead ball rebound for Post. Goes off the shot clock. No, actually, that's going to stay with Bridgeport. But yeah, that's been the big thing is in the close games, it's been advantage Post most of the year. They know how to finish the job.
Yes.
But they have to get there. And at times it's been tough because they don't have the lead to get there. They're usually trailing. Like against Caldwell, they got within 5, but they never were able to take the lead in that whole entire game. Missed shot there by Jacobs. The follow-up no good, but it's rebounded once more by D'Souza. Warnock now up the court with it. Now Williams. Out to Warnock. He's going to pass it up and get called for a travel because he did that. Bridgeport ball here, 12:34 to go. 16-11 Post. And Bianca's got a scoring update between the Caldwell and Bloomfield game for us now. Right after this. That ball goes out of bounds. It's going to stay here with Bridgeport.
Yes, Caldwell's up 9 and Bloomfield has 7, so it's going to be an interesting matchup between the two.
Yeah, they're about the same length of the way as we are in this one. Less than a minute, give or take, in that one ahead of us or behind us. So both these games, depending on how fouls get called and everything, could come down to literally seconds of finishing apart, where we'll at least know our top 4, but I'm not going to speculate. Full stands for this last game of the year. We even got the cheerleaders here. They'll be performing at halftime. We'll make sure we have the camera on that.
I'm excited to see that.
You're doing a grad year. You want to join the team next year after soccer season ends?
We'll see.
Dieng out to Acott. Acott's got it back out to Duncan. And now Duncan on the baseline, lays it in.
That's good.
I kind of prematurely called that one there. 21-13 Post. And now again that press comes back to somewhat haunt the Eagles, as that was a quick basket opportunity for DeAndre Collins, but he's fouled by Warnock. Coach Kuntz arguing that it was before the shot, or honestly if it was even a foul to begin with.
That's something that's definitely hard for me to differentiate whether it's a foul or not, because I feel like the
Go on.
I was just saying, sorry, I'm not used to this, so I'm getting distracted by the game. But I was just saying, as a soccer player, it's very hard for me to differentiate what's a foul and what's not a foul given the game.
What exactly does constitute a foul in soccer compared to basketball?
I would say definitely like hitting the legs. Like I get done with games and I'm just bruised up.
It seems like when I watch games this fall, it seems like any sort of content that may be incidental or not is usually whistled in a change of possession, whereas you're just watching Dieng bully his defender down there. They're not calling anything for that. You see him bullying him some more. Dieng's blocked there by Collins, gets it back, and now he shoots again, and I think that was tipped.
I don't know how he made that.
With 3 defenders on him. Now Bridgeport the other way. Collins for 3, off the mark. Dieng, or you're able to build that momentum and carry this into the second half. I believe I have to fact check it. The Eagles are 11-1 this year when leading at halftime. They're under 500 at halftime this season. I believe 5-6 on the road, if I'm not mistaken. 5-6, excuse me, when they're not leading at half, and then 0-1 when tied at halftime.
That's some impressive memory.
I've been writing it in the game store for weeks after every single game. Are you one of our many avid readers of our post-game stories?
I actually do. I definitely after the soccer games I would see what you would write.
We didn't write too much about the defense. It's hard to write about defense in soccer because there's nothing in the box score at the end of the game, unfortunately. D'Souza's got it on the inbound, and it's back over to Trail. Trail now trying to work his way inside. Ooh. Now he's going to kick that out for 3 to Delgado, and Delgado's got it. That's a big mini run here now. It was just an 11-point game, and now it's a 6-point game, just like that.
It's crazy how much of the difference makes such a the score makes such a difference with these games. Like 25 to 19, you would never imagine that in a soccer game.
No, not at all. You're lucky if you see one.
Exactly. That's the point.
Akot with the fall-away jumper. He's got it for 2. And there's no goalie in basketball either, so.
It's true.
In the corner for 3, that's Collins. He nails it. It's a 5-point game again. Oh, what a steal there.
Wow.
Collins there up Trail's steal on the press break. Very well done. You cannot have those easy baskets, though.
No, not in games like these.
Another one. Oh, what the heck just happened there?
Oh, my God.
I got lost behind the ref. And then all of a sudden, I saw DeAndre Collins flying in with Nick Trail. The ball just like wildly caromed off of the backboard. And now a double dribble for Akot. And things have really made a turn for the worse for the Eagles. And interestingly enough, West Harris just looked like he wanted timeout. Mark Kuntz told him, I'm not calling timeout, figure it out. Which, if I'm him, I agree. Because right now, the Eagles are just shooting themselves in the foot. They're not even getting to the offensive side of the ball. It's been everything in the backcourt that's helped change the momentum all of a sudden in favor of Bridgeport. Pressing in for that shot was D'Souza, and it was off of Alcee, but it looks like it's going to go the way of the Eagles. Trey Duncan now coming back in for post. You also get a lot more subs in basketball as opposed to soccer.
Yes.
What is it, once or twice you can come on and off, and that's it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Williams to inbound. Pressure on here. Akot's got it. And he'll work his way up the court. Akot down the right side, going to the middle. Gets in traffic of almost all 5 defenders. Derek Thomas with the miss. Alcee rebound, he's fouled. Interesting thing to note there, all 5 of Bridgeport's defenders were in the paint, forcing that outside shot for Thomas. Alcee got the rebound, though, and he gets 2 shots here, which can help make it a 3-point game. Scoring's been pretty spread out for the Eagles so far. 7 different scores out of the 9 who have reached the court. On the other side, Bridgeport, 8 points apiece for D'Souza and Collins leading the way. They're both shooting over 60% so far as a team. Post, the reason why Post is slightly ahead right now is because they're shooting better from the floor. They're shooting 63%, like you were talking about, Bianca. Getting a better shooting percentage they have. Bridgeport's shooting 50% so far, and that's a big turnover there. Akot's got it, but he's double teamed. And they're going to call a foul there. Good way to get out of trouble there if you're Bull Akot. Akot had a hot start to the year. Was averaging around 20 points a game. Has not fallen off. You don't want to say fallen off, but his numbers in terms of offensive scoring have gone down compared to what he was at earlier in the season. He's still leading the team in scoring, or up there in scoring. Just not the same way as before. Excuse me, he's second on the team in scoring with 12.4. Diang leading the way. They're going to call a foul there on Bridgeport. Looks like that was Trejo. Will send the Eagles to the line for 2. Duncan with the miss on the opportunity. But like we mentioned, Diang, 16 points per game. Akot, 12.4. Earlier this year, Akot was around 18 or so and then had a little bit of a slump. He hasn't reached double digits nearly as much as he was earlier in the year. He started to get it going as of late. But the Eagles have not shot as hot as they were earlier in the year, which has made a huge difference overall in their win-loss ratio. When they're hitting more than 8 threes a game, they're winning more often than not. I believe they've only had 2 losses in 10 games where they've made 8 or more three-point shots. You get a few more changes for Bridgeport. Duncan misses the second. And that's another thing to watch is free throws. I used to coach rec league a little, and I would always tell the kids, you have to make at least half of them. That's a good ratio for a 5th or 6th grader, I think. And they come down to being free points at the end of the game. So it's crucial you hit them early and often, as that 3 is off the mark by Delgado, and then Collins got the rebound. Trail now looked like he was about to pull up. He doesn't. D'Souza now trying to back down Dieng. He's going to miss that shot. Dieng with the rebound. And now he kicks it out to Acott. Acott looks to feed somebody. Duncan had a shot opportunity for a second. He's blocked, gets his own rebound. Got it. Looks like that was Delgado with the block. With 7 minutes to go here. Eagles back up 5. Active hands there by Dieng. Just happens to go to Collins in the corner. Now back out to Trail. Trail now. Baseline jumper. He's going to be fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. Interestingly enough, our score here, 31-26 in Bianchi. You've got the score of the Bloomfield game.
Yes, Caldwell's up 13-12, so that one's a close game.
With 8:34 to go. A little bit closer to a soccer score, but still not really at the same time.
I wish there was 13 goals in a soccer game.
Well, obviously for you,
For
not
me,
against
yeah.
you. I don't think Coach Tapali would be too happy with you on defense, especially if you're
oh gosh, no.
anchoring the defense, giving up 13 goals.
Super nice to hear the cheerleaders are out here today as well.
Yeah, first game of the year for them. They were at one of the football games earlier, and again, they'll be performing their routine at halftime. They've been working hard all year, and there's another turnover. Collins down low, lays it up for 2. The Bridgeport press is doing nothing different than the post press. It's just post is being more sloppy on the inbounds. And it's forced a lot of points off turnovers. Get that number for you in a moment here. Yeah, 13 points off turnovers for Bridgeport so far. Post has had 9 turnovers. So that's about just over a point per turnover for Bridgeport. And really, this could be a 10-point game, and that's going to be an offensive foul. Another turnover for Post. I think that was on Dieng. So we'll see if they convert on some points here, but over a point per turnover for the Eagles right now, for Bridgeport off of Eagle turnovers. In a 31-30 game. Like we mentioned, Post only 1 loss this year when leading at halftime, so just getting to the break is big in and of itself. As that's a missed shot there by Trail. Still going around, staying here. Purple Knights ball with 6:10 to go. Eagles trying to at least give themselves a hope at a quarterfinals playoff game. If that were to happen, that's why we didn't have a game time for you. On the other side of things, as Jacobs hits that 3 and Bridgeport's taking the lead, we're going to get a technical foul issued to, I believe that's Jacobs. Caleb Jacobs hits the 3 and then gets himself a technical foul. No, I'm sorry, that was on Post.
I don't actually understand how technical fouls work, if I'm being honest.
So essentially, when flagrant, like if I were to elbow you in the face right now, you would get 2 technical free throws and the ball back. So
that's why all the players are then beyond the half.
Yes, yeah, they can be anywhere as long as they're not inside the 3-point line.
Gotcha.
Think of it as the equivalent to like a yellow card.
And then they get the ball back down there as well.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Think of it like a yellow card inside the box. You get a penalty shot.
Yeah.
This is anywhere on the court. You get your it's like a free kick. It's just you get the free throws instead of a free kick. Quest Harris with it over to Harrison Warnock up top. 5 and some change to go. Bridgeport up by 1. Dieng out to Duncan in the corner. No good. And that one caroms off of a few people. I don't even know who is going to get that one. It looks like 20-second shot clock is going to keep it down here with Post, who will look to take the lead back here. Duncan to inbound. Duncan outside to Harris. Harris on the outside to Acott. Acott, jumper, no good. Rebounded by Dieng. Dieng now spin move inside, no good. Looks like he got hit a little by Itramendi. And now Acott with it, back up at the point. Acott over to Warnock. Warnock was trying to step into a 3, but no space given there. So he's going to go inside instead and do his work on D'Souza and give Post the lead back by 1. But now look at here, the full court press. Not working to the advantage of the Eagles as Itramendi just comes right down the pipe with the help from Trail. Bridgeport back in front by 1. And now Acott the other way. Acott is going to be fouled. Might have just been out of bounds. Looks like it's just out of bounds. No foul called. Acott just looks like he got blocked on the shot going up, and then it goes out off of Bridgeport, so it'll stay here with 4:48 to go. Williams to inbound. Finds Dieng. Out to Warnock for 3. No. Rebounded there by Dawson. Dawson now the other way to Itramendi. In the corner with it is Moore. Ryan Moore wants some more. He's got the 3, and they've got a 4-point lead for the Purple Knights. And to think a few minutes ago, it was an 11-point lead for Post. You were talking about, Bianca, how they were hitting their shots and whatnot. And now Bridgeport's come back, and they've been hitting their shots, and they've also capitalized off of those turnovers.
Yeah, that's true.
Warnock on the outside with it. Trying to feed Acott on the cut. Can't. Dieng from near the Post logo. No good. Williams now near the free throw line. He's got it. 2-point game. Timeout, Post. Coach Kuhn's calling a timeout with 4:03 left. It's funny enough, though, Dieng was actually a couple of games ago shooting from near the logo and was just draining shot after shot from there. So no hesitation on that one. He was confident, but just a little too strong off the back of the rim. As we head into this timeout here, I'm trying to pull off the playoff scenarios if I still have them with me to try and kind of give you guys an idea of what we're looking at here.
So many different scenarios.
Yeah, I mean, the South Division's not even settled. Jefferson and Goldie Beacom are the 1-2, and then it's TBD between the 3rd and 4th seed because you got Wilmington playing, you've got Chestnut Hill, you've got Goldie Beacom still in the mix playing, so nothing really settled. And I'm looking at all the scenarios right now, and I mean, I don't even know how to decipher which one that would be best for Post. It looks like, simply put, that a win coupled by a Post loss, a Post win coupled by a Bloomfield win puts Post at the 2, which means we'd be hosting a home game. That's the simplest scenario I see on my screen right now. So we're gonna ride with that one and just hope that that one plays out. Anything else? See it in the game recap afterwards, once we get it finally in writing from the CACC afterwards, once all these afternoon games finish up. 3:48 to go. That ball was hit out of bounds, and it stays with Bridgeport, 38-36, 3:48 to go.
Is that a sub for Bridgeport? 14?
No, Moore was out there before. He just hit that 3 a few minutes ago in the corner. Williams now to inbound. Gets it over to Acott. Acott now on the outside to Williams. They get it past half court. That's the big part. You have to get over half court in 10 seconds or less, or else you get a 10-second violation in the back court. You also can't, as Williams goes for the jumper and he's got it, you also can't go back over the court after you cross the offensive side of the court. As that one was tipped off of Itramendi. It just happened to end up in Dawson's hands. Dawson floater. No, rims out. Elsie with the rebound. Now Acott the other way. Acott driving in, gets around his defender. Good for 2, and we got a tie game at 40. The reason I bring up that half-court defense thing is because we watch you guys in soccer all the time, back and forth over the midfield. You can't do that here. In a basketball game, as Itramendi misses on the layup, Elsie with the rebound going the other way, post. Williams over to Elsie. Looks like it's off of his knee, and he'll go back to Bridgeport. We get a few subs coming on now for Bridgeport. With 2:29 here in the first half. That's Collins in the backcourt with it. Eagle defense with 4 in the back. And now Dawson with the wheels right through everybody and gets the easy basket. Speed kills when it comes to beating the press break. And if you're fast enough like Dawson just was there, you're going to break through those 4 and then have usually an odd number of people down the other way. Another near turnover there by Post. So we're going to get a couple subs coming on. It's D'Souza coming in as well as Quest Harris. Dillon comes off and Acott comes off. If you weren't here in the earlier game, women's basketball clinching their 2nd straight North Division title with the win over Bridgeport by 10. We talked to Tyjanae Simmons and Maya Klein after that one. Be sure to check that one out on the Post Eagles YouTube page later on when we have a chance to upload it, as Dieng gets that one and we're tied back up at 42 apiece. Bridgeport now coming the other way with it. Moore in the corner, no good. Rebound Dieng. Eagles will look to come the other way. Eagles have gotten over 50 points on a number of occasions in the first half of games. Williams for 3, no good. That's rebounded down low by Delgado. I believe their record for a first half this year is 54. And Williams going to look to try and get the scoop and score. Turns it over. And that continues to be the story of the first half. Like, we're talking about a tie ball game right now, folks, but with the way the turnover battle has been so far, largely in favor of Bridgeport, 11-4, in which they've scored 20 points off of that. That's a big difference maker. You take away your turnovers, you're up double digits right now. And the longer Post allows Bridgeport to stay in this game because of turnovers and not even their own missed shots, the harder it's going to be for them down the stretch in the second half, as that 3 is off the mark by Collins. Goes the other way, Post ball. Gonna get a sub here. Looking at the shooting numbers, Post does have the edge, 54% to 48%. Excuse me, both teams have shot the ball 33 times. Post making 2 more baskets, 1 less 3. And they've also made 4 less free throws. So I talked about the charity stripe being big. You got to convert there. It's almost like a penalty kick. You want to make sure you convert on those, any opportunity you get for those points. Acott with the jumper. 50 seconds remaining here in the first half. Eagles up 2. Itramendi with defense all over him. That was Acott. Now D'Souza with it. D'Souza trying to get through Elsie. Got it. 35 and counting, 33, 32, 31 and before they inbound it. So this is going to be the last chance for the shot. They'll just waste this down to end the half. So we're either going to go to the half at a tie game, 44-all, which Post is 0-1 this year, potentially with a Post lead in which they're 11-1 this year. Harris holding for the last shot. Elsie now over to Acott. Acott, 9 on the clock. Acott early with the shot, and now it's actually going to give the opportunity for Bridgeport. Itramendi, and if they score here, Coach Kuntz is not going to be happy, and they do just that. And yep, just as I anticipated, that the way that ended was not how they wanted. Bull Acott took that shot way too early, and then allowed a fast break opportunity for Itramendi the other way, and just like that now, Post is trailing 46-44 instead of being tied or ahead heading into the second half. And bring Bianca back into this one. First, to give us a scoring update on that Caldwell game.
Score update, 35 to Caldwell and Bloomfield with 31 with 1 minute and 16 to go.
So that's where they stand, and we stand with Bridgeport leading right now over Post by 2. What does Post have to do better in that second half
I mean, I think just even with that last play, like, I feel like that shot was just a bit rushed early. They just needed to kind of keep that momentum, like set the momentum, and there was no need to rush there at the beginning.
And how does Post flip the script defensively, too? They've allowed Bridgeport only to get, 4 turnovers now. How do we flip this back in the favor of Post?
I mean, maybe they can try and win some turnovers closer to the basket.
So we'll take it to a quick commercial. The cheerleaders going to come out in a few moments to do their routine. And we're going to take it to a commercial break. Post trails 46-44 at the half. And we're back here getting ready for the second half of action. About a minute and a half to go before we kick things off. Mike Vesey joined alongside Bianca. How do you say your last name again?
Styles.
Styles. Oh, wait. I don't know where I got somebody else's name from. It's been a long day, folks. That's probably the easiest name I've had to pronounce all day, and I don't know why I was thinking Castiles for some reason. But anyways, yeah, that's what I mean. It's been a long day. But we're about a minute away now, and we talked a little bit about it before the break, about what we had to see from Post in the second half. What did you like, though, Bianca, that they did in the first half that you thought worked really well?
I think as soon as, like, the momentum, like I was talking about before, you can say once they start getting their buckets, they build momentum, and that's how they had that big gap of the 11 points that we did see in the first half.
Yeah, 25-14 was that lead, and now Bridgeport flipped it on its head, took a 40-36 lead. Post has led for 10 minutes of this game compared to just 3:48 for Bridgeport, but Bridgeport's just killing them on the turnovers, and we talked about that just before the break. The Eagles have to clean up the turnovers. 20 points off of turnovers compared to just 5 for Post. And one technical foul as well issued to Bridgeport in that first half. But we're ready to kick things off here with the second half of action. And we saw a very angry Mark Kuntz going into the locker room at halftime because of that early shot by Bull Acott allowed the Purple Knights to get that run down the court. And like I mentioned, Post is 5-6 this year when they are trailing at half. They're trailing here by just 2, but just the stat to note. At home this year, Eagles 9-2. Those losses coming against Southern New Hampshire in the early going, and then Caldwell. Caldwell, again, with a loss today is out. We know that much. With a win against Bloomfield, they're in. If you're Post, you'd probably prefer to see Bloomfield in the playoffs, Felician get that final spot. Not that they'll be seeded 4th officially because you don't have official yet, but you'd rather see them seeded at the 4, I would think, than Caldwell, who you lost to twice by double digits. But at the same time, to be the best, you got to beat the best. So if the Eagles have to go through Caldwell at some point, then so be it. Dieng misses long on the 3. Itramendi with the rebound, and it's going to be Purple Knights ball early, and Itramendi is going to get blocked by Dieng, and now Dieng's going to – there's a lot of jersey grabbing there that wasn't called for anything.
In my words, would call that chippy.
Chippy. Are there any other terms that would apply in these games? As that one's in for Harris, who ties it up. Being from New Zealand, that would apply to basketball games. I know it's a popular sport over there.
In New Zealand?
Yeah, I thought so. Or no. maybe I'm thinking Australia.
Yeah.
I would say one of the two.
I would say New Zealand rugby is our top sport, which is not actually played in this country.
It's played loosely, I know.
Yeah.
I used to watch the rugby sevens as Dawson hits the 2 there. And gives Bridgeport the lead back. But I do know that New Zealand is very well known for the rugby. Dieng, that's going to be a push-off. That's going to be an offensive foul. I know netball is another one that's popular.
I'm actually impressed that you know that sport.
I know netball.
I'm actually really impressed.
I wasn't sure if that was New Zealand or if it was Australia. But
massive women's sport in Australia and New Zealand.
As Sanders tries to get the steal there, can't. Did you ever play netball when you were in New Zealand?
I did, and it's like honestly like basketball. You simply just can't use your feet really.
Right.
You can't run.
You have to be stationary.
Yeah, you have to be stationary pretty much the entire time.
And you can't dribble down the court if I'm not mistaken, right?
No.
And there's no backboard for those at home that don't know what netball is. It's literally just a hoop on the pretty much
the
a
rim,
pole
yeah,
with no backboard. So when we say nothing but net,
it really is nothing.
It really is nothing but net. Itramendi coming down the court with it inside. DeSouza is going to get that one taken away, and Sanders off to the race the other way, but just runs into a wall of purple. And then nearly turns it over, and it's going to stay here. It's just sloppy so far with Post in terms of offense and setting it up. They're rushing it down the court, and they're really just kind of disorganized to start this half.
Just a little score update as well. The first half ended with 37 to Caldwell and Bloomfield with 32.
Yeah, So that's a big matchup there, like we said, for seeding reasons. And that's the other thing is, while Post may know their seed and where they're playing in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, the South isn't decided either. So we don't even know who they would be playing. As that one's tipped around, no one's able to get it, and Sanders looks a little bit gimpy after that one. Going in for that one, it's going to be, looks like a, yeah, that's going to just be straight up on, that's going to be a blocking foul there for the Eagles. They were looking for a charge, but the reason why that's not a charge, even though he was straight up, is because of that restricted area right there, the circle under the basket. If you take a contact under there, it is a still a defensive foul. Good on the first for Trail. And apologies too, the Eagles are 12-1 this year when leading at half. They are 6-6 when trailing at the half.
Looks like Rob Sanders may have sprained his ankle as he's gone to get treatment.
Yeah, we don't want to speculate, obviously, on the exact nature of the injury. But he did look a little shaken up with his lower leg area. But you never know. We saw Sonny Kaupte go off with just some minor cramps earlier and get back into the game a few minutes after. Acott, they're going to call a foul there before the shot, so there we go. The Eagles will go back to the line for 2. The Eagles trailing by 4. It's kind of funny sometimes with the speed of the game. You kind of lose track of the the score from time to time because they're just exchanging basket for basket if you're not really looking up at the board. Acott, no good on the first. Again, I mentioned it in the first half. Free throws are a big thing. And the Eagles are 3 of 8 now in the game from the free throw line. Make that 4 for 9. As Acott hits the second, Eagles trail by 3. Down low with it is D'Souza. Kicks it back out, and now he's back down to D'Souza again. Now up at the top of the key is Dawson for 3. Drains it. The Bridgeport bench starting to get loud, chanting defense. The Eagle crowd has been significantly quiet.
Which is honestly quite surprising.
Yeah, Bridgeport just playing spoiler in this one, as they've been eliminated from contention. But it was no easy feat last time out against them as Dieng nails that jumper, and it's a 4-point game. Like you mentioned, it was 61-58. We're going to see that score go way above that mark. The score was 30-25 in favor of Bridgeport, actually. It was the second half Eagles run that helped get them that come-from-behind victory. One of their 6 wins when losing at halftime. Dawson looked to draw a foul there, doesn't. Warnock gets the rebound off the missed 3. Quest Harris now coming down the court with it with 16.5 to go. Harris out to Acott. Acott with his defender all over him, trying to make a move in. Got it for 2. Right back with it is Dawson towards the baseline. Floater, no good. Rebounded by Warnock, and here come the Eagles the other way. So in that game, Post did trail in the early going of it, came back to take the lead as Dieng is going to get that one to fall. And Bridgeport's going to call a timeout as we've got a tie game at 53. But like I mentioned, Bridgeport led that game early. Post came back. It was a back-and-forth matchup until the final few minutes. Bridgeport was within 3 a couple of times. Post was able to hold them off. And then Tim Dawson's layup with 10 seconds left made it a 1-point game. Dieng hit 2 free throws. And I remember watching it. Dawson took a jumper, not even a 3-pointer, in a 3-point game at the buzzer. And that's how the game ended. So it was a right down to the wire finish. And unless we have another 20-1 run like Post had around this time against Felician last week. We're going to be coming down to the wire again here from the Drubner Center. There's exactly 16 minutes to go here in this one. Diang, Duncan, Williams, Acott, and Alcee on the floor. Full court press still on for Bridgeport. Again, the Eagles can finish anywhere between the 2 and 4 seeds today. Caldwell can only be eliminated with a loss or make it in with a win. And right now, Felician's got eyes, kind of like they did in the women's game. Felician's got eyes on that game because with a Bloomfield win, they're out. With a Caldwell win, they're in. Excuse me, I'm sorry. With the Bloomfield win, Felician is in. With the Caldwell win, they're out. A lot of scenarios to try and keep track of in my head as Collins drains the 3 from the corner. 56-53 Bridgeport as they come right back after the timeout. Full court press still on, and you can't have passes like that. Williams just kind of lobbed it, and while it's still going to be post ball, now you're trapped in the corner trying to get this one in. It's just been not very hard passing. It's just been these little floaters, and that one was not high enough for Diang to get. Diang was just telling Williams to give him something in the air. He'll grab it like that, and he does. One defender backs off. Diang over the half-court line. 15:30 to go. Bridgeport leading by 3. Diang, floater, no good. Rebound, Alcee's got it. Oh, Bridgeport right there, right in front of us. The ref almost takes out CC D'Souza in the stands. Nick Trail now with it out at the top of the key, right around the post logo. Trail inside, gets it to Dillon, rejected. Alcee's gonna grab that one from Jacobs, and now the Eagles are off to the races. Williams in the corner for 3. Whoa, way off the mark.
Some great defense by Alcee.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a missed jumper there by Bridgeport. Standing in at 6'9". You expect him to go up and be able to do that. Duncan in the corner, no good. Rebound, Diang. Diang with 2 on him. That's going to be tough, and now looks like we got a foul on Bridgeport there. Number 5, Delgado. Malachi Delgado with the foul. And it'll be Taquan Williams inbounding it here. With 14:32 to go. Diang with it. Trying to back down Intramendi. Intramendi has him locked down, and Diang shot short. Alcee turns it over there. Now back the other way with it is Dawson. Kicks it out to Jacobs. Now in the corner for 3 is Intramendi. In and out. Rebounded though there by D'Souza. He misses. Alcee tries to get the rebound. And it's going to stay here with Bridgeport. Bianca, when you look at this Bridgeport team, who's really been a key for them in the first, 25 minutes of this game that's helped kind of set the tone for them?
Honestly, I have not been paying that much attention to the Bridgeport players, but I do think number 11 has had a big impact. I know he's been getting a lot of rebounds, I'm pretty sure. But
yeah, if you see on the screen right there, you got Intramendi's got 6 points, he's 3 for 7. He's got 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal in 15 minutes. So he's been definitely a key factor.
Yeah, and I even knew that without looking at the stats.
Well, you should have read them off there. Williams to inbound, gets ahead to Thomas. And now Sanders with it inside, tries to lay. Oh yeah, he was fouled, and that was called late. You saw his arm get torn down right there, way before. Now Sanders will go to the line for 2. Eagles 4 of 9 from the free throw line so far. These will be Sanders' first 2 free throws of the game. And on the flip side of that, Bianca, who's been key for post in this one?
I think Dang's been really good with his shots and his defense. And what are we looking here? What do you think?
I mean, I'd have to agree with you on Dieng being a key factor, and I think Alcey's starting to become more of a factor in the second half, pulling down 6 total rebounds. Dieng's got 8 rebounds and 13 points on 6 of 11 shooting, like you're saying. He's been shooting well. And then Bull Aycott's been good, too, with 11 points, 5 of 11. But the big thing has been turnovers, and I believe so far the Eagles have done a good job of limiting them in the second half. I'd have to pull up the stats and see. Yeah, only 2 turnovers so far. That's a far cry from what we saw in the first half from them. Tremendi, Bianca's player of the game so far, lays it up and in for 2 and gives Bridgeport the lead back. Williams gets it to Sanders, who's guarded by Moore closely. Sanders tries to take the screen from Warnock, can't do it. And now he gets it to Warnock, layup, no good. Rebounded there by Trail, and they almost had numbers in transition the other way. The Trail looked up and saw Dawson there. Sanders with the block. I gotta wonder if that was almost goaltending. Now we're getting sloppy here, folks. That's gonna be turned over by Duncan. Honestly, I don't even know if you give it to Duncan on that. I'm pretty sure Sanders is gonna get charged with the turnover there. And now bodies everywhere, and ultimately after all that, Sam DeSouza is gonna score after Rob Sanders got the block, and there was about 3 different changes of possession in a matter of moments. Sanders hounded, no one there to help him. Now Williams is fouled by Trail. So while last like 15 seconds, hard to kind of follow what was going on there. Rob Sanders had a block down on the right side, and it was debatable. They thought Bridgeport was looking at it from the perspective of the ball was falling towards the hoop, which would be a goaltending call. And the ref said, nope, that was clean. But then they go and try and throw the outlet pass down the court, and Duncan's not able to get it, and then turns the red peg over to Trail, and then D'Souza gets the points anyway.
I think we talked about that just rush play. Like, even if they're getting the ball back and rebounding it, I think just slowing the momentum down might help them instead of rushing those types of plays. Yeah,
and it's very hard, too, with how quick this Bridgeport defense has been.
Exactly.
Especially because they're pressing.
Yes.
They've been everywhere at all times, it seems like. Our cheerleaders were just doing a pyramid over in the corner to fire up the crowd. Eagles trail by 4 here. It looks like it was a full timeout. Yeah, it was timeout by Bridgeport with 12:30 to go.
Little score update with the Caldwell and Bloomfield game. Caldwell is down 47 and Bloomfield up 51 with 13:25 to go.
Yep, so a 51-47 game in favor of Bloomfield.
Yes.
We already know who's in the tournament. It's just really Caldwell or Felician right now in terms of, and then seeding. I'm looking at the scenarios here. To put it mildly, this is what I'm seeing. Bloomfield defeats Caldwell and Post loses. Post is the 4. All right? If you have a notepad at home, write that one down. Take notes. There's going to be a quiz after this game. If Caldwell defeats Bloomfield, Caldwell gets the 1, Bloomfield the 2, Post is the 3 with a loss today against Bridgeport. Felician out. All right, that's scenario number 2. Scenario number 3, Caldwell defeats Bloomfield. Caldwell gets in, Bloomfield is the 2, Post is the 3 with a win. That jumper's off the mark. It's going to be rebounded by Dieng. He misses. Alcey can't secure it. Now the other way with it is Dawson. And I believe I missed the scenario, as that one's a jumper for 3 from Moore. No good. Aycott the other way with it. The other scenario is Bloomfield wins, Post wins. Post is the 2, Bloomfield's the 1. Caldwell, you're out.
That's foul.
Foul called there. Sanders hits the deck. Looks like that was on Brooke. Nah, excuse me, that was, I think, Dawson. So yeah, 4 different scenarios that range from the 2 to the 4. And we'll try and go through them again as things go on, but no promises on that. That was a lot for me to look through, because there's essentially, when there's a 4-team tie, they go to a mini conference in terms of how they break the tiebreaker. which then breaks it down even further into head-to-heads. Because every team plays each other twice, it makes it a little bit more difficult. Alcee elevates, no good. He's going to get fouled before he goes up. No dunk on the play. It's going to be Intermendi with the foul. So still a lot to watch in these final 12 minutes, and then on the road against with this Bloomfield game. Although I'm going to look through the scenarios one more time, and I'm pretty sure no matter what, as Alcee's good on the first, I'm pretty sure no matter what. Yeah, so if Post loses today, plain and simple, they're not hosting a game. With a win today, things still have to go in their favor in certain ways for them to get it. Caldwell, again, if Caldwell defeats Bloomfield, Post goes to 3, so there's no home game for them. Pretty much if you're a Post fan and you want a home game, you're the simplest scenario put, Bloomfield's got to win, your Eagles got to take care of business at home. Floater right there, no good from Collins. And now Acott the other way in a 2-point game after Alcee hit those 2 free throws a moment ago. Dieng inside, he nails it. We got a tie game. Right back with it is Dawson. D'Souza passing up the 3. He's going to try working one-on-one with Alcee. That's a mismatch. Alcee with the block. Alcee's going to get the rebound, and Dieng the other way. Eagles their chance to take their first lead in a while. Acott, stutter step. Acott tries to get it in. He gets it out to Sanders.
It's good.
Nails it. 63 to 60 Post. And they're back in front here with 10 minutes and change to go.
And we can hear the crowd around us hype up a little bit more.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Once the Eagles start to get a run going, the crowd gets more into it. That's when the fans get rattled from the other teams. So the Eagles, if they want to steal momentum, need to go on a run here and pretty much just put their foot on the throats of the Purple Knights. Although we saw them come back from an 11-point deficit earlier. And the shot clock never reset. So we'll take it out from the side again. And those are always momentum killers for no matter what team it is, because you're taking it up, you're running an offensive play. Now suddenly, now you got to take it out from the end line. You allow the opposing team's defense to be set. So it's always difficult when the shot clock, game clock is off like that, and then they have to blow the whistle. Really can kill momentum for either team, no matter what you're on. Acott to inbound, and this is what we're seeing right here. Trail is just all over Harris in the backcourt because they had to take that inbound. Harris inside, got it, 2. 65 to 60 Eagles. They're ahead by 5 now. Trail now. It looks like I've noticed too, Post is not doing a full court press anymore. Trail blocked by, yeah, that's gonna count as a goaltend. That's going to be 2 points. That one was definitely falling on the shot. The one earlier was Sanders, questionable. That one was definitely falling towards the hoop. Now, does it go in or not? Who knows? However, if you do it when it's going in, when it's on its down arc, that's a goaltend. They get him 2 points. So that basket is good, although Alcee looked almost like he had a block. West Harris out to Sanders. Sanders, jumper, who's got it for 2. 67-62. Trail now the other way on the left side wing. You hear that NCAA logo with Harris in front of him. Tries to work to the outside, spins, gets it inside to D'Souza. He's going to get fouled on the shot. That'll be 2 free throws coming for D'Souza in a 4-point game. It's been close all the way for both teams. Eagles looking to try and pull away here a little bit in the second half. D'Souza, rims out on the first. Warnock back in for Alcee. We're in the second half of the second half, with 9:37 remaining in regulation. Good on the second. We'll get a sub in. That's Prince Dillon. Bridgeport still going with that full court press. It's worked well for them, but the Eagles have not turned the ball over as much in this half. which is the big difference maker. Harris, near half. Right side, over to Warnock. Sanders now on the left wing. Over to Warnock. Warnock down at the bottom, lays it up. Gonna get fouled and go to the line for 2. With Bianca, it looks like Bloomfield's starting to pull away, it looks like, in the second half.
Yeah, 10-point game difference now.
You sound disappointed.
Yeah, a little bit.
Bianca was telling me at halftime she's rooting for Caldwell.
I am.
For, quote, personal reasons. But if you're an Eagle fan at home, or not Bianca, you're rooting for Bloomfield in hopes that the Eagles can get the 2 seed and get a home playoff game on Tuesday night. Warnock to the line, makes the first, and you'll shoot the second one and try and make this one a 6-point game. Good on the second. Eagles up 6. Now I see the full court press back for them. We'll see if Bridgeport has a run back in them. We've seen a thrill. We saw a thriller in game 1 really until the final moments, and now in game 2, we're seeing another tightly contested one. Out on the wing with that is Dawson. Dawson down low to Intramendi. Intramendi now. Offensive foul. They're saying he pushed off of him. It'll be Eagle ball. That's his 3rd personal. And we see the Bridgeport press still coming. Another important thing to note is that Bridgeport has 7 fouls as a team, which means everything from here on out is a 1-and-1, as long as it's not committed as an offensive foul, in which case it's just a turn of possession. That's it. Warnock's got it. Over to Acott. Acott towards the middle. Jumper, no. Leaves it short, and Dawson's got the rebound. Dawson still with it after getting it from Trail. Looked like it was grabbed by Acott on the back of the jersey. Saw the 2 come a little bit tugged loose. No call. Back into the game is Caleb Jacobs. Looks like D'Souza's getting into position. Coming out of the game was Dillon. Trail with it. Trail can't do anything with it, and now he's still got his Acott, almost knocked it loose, and that's going to be a turnover. Momentum slowly starting to shift in favor of Post. Got to think if you can get a big basket here, it's going to electrify the crowd, especially if you get Dang Dieng with one of his signature dunks like he's done so many times this year. Dieng over half court with it. Over to Harris. Taquan Williams getting ready to check in as well. Harris dribbling around. Oh, man, Acott almost had it stolen from him, but hits that jumper as Trail tried to cheat. Now Trail to inbound. Jacobs the other way for Bridgeport. Jacobs one-on-one with Harris. Step back jumper off the mark. Rebounded by Intramendi, whose jumper on the baseline is good. You kind of see a difference out there in terms of defense with Alcee not out there, the 6'9" body on the bench right now. No one really there to get a rebound for Post when they need it. Now the Purple Knights seeing if they can manufacture something to swing the game back in their favor, get back into it a little. Turnovers for the half, 3 for Post, 2. I believe that's going to be the 4th turnover because it's going to be a jump ball. It will be. Now we'll get some subs. Bianca, you've been doing such a good job on this broadcast today that I told you before the game I did this last year. I'm going to have you call this offensive possession here. No, I'm going to let you. I'm going to go silent. You call it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's Bridgeport's ball. We'll do it because you know the Post players. When Post has the ball next, you're going to do the next offensive play-by-play for that possession.
I don't know if I can do that.
You can do it. Trust me. Trejo with it. Gets it over to Collins. Collins back over to Trejo. Now Intermendi with it. Intermendi jumper, nails it. All right, Bianca, it's all you for this post possession.
Okay, Rob's got it. Taking it to net. Oh, I don't know his name.
That's Williams.
Williams. Harry's with it. Passed around to Derek to Rob. Shooter. It's good.
I think we need to have her call the rest of the game as there's a turnover. Look at that. 3-point swing and post ball with Bianca on the call with that one. We're learning.
Yes.
So Eagles ball here, 74-67 after Bianca's good luck gave Rob Sanders a 3 from up top. 6:32 to go in regulation and post leading by 7. Bloomfield leading by 10 where they are, which again, post wins, Bloomfield wins. It's going to be post hosting a home game on Tuesday night. Gonna get a push off there on Bridgeport. Looks like that was D'Souza. Eagles going to the line for 2 with Warnock. Just to give you a comparison from the first to second half too. 12 first half turnovers for post. That led to, I'm looking at it now, 24 first half points for Bridgeport. Second half now. Turnovers for post 4-3. They've turned it over more, but they've only, I'm actually looking at this wrong because unfortunately it's showing the points off turnovers for the entire game. 24 total points off the turnovers today for Bridgeport. I believe it was 20 at the half, if I'm not mistaken, because the live stats updated it. So that's only 4 points off turnovers in the second half so far for the Purple Knights. 24 on the game. That layup, I don't know how he got that one to go. Tim Dawson.
That was impressive.
Been a little bit of magic there. Still a 7-point game. Quest Harris, 6 minutes to go. Like we talked about, down the stretch, the Eagles have been really good with the lead. Warnock now going towards the middle. Warnock layup. Oh, off the mark, just barely missing it. Snagged there by Dawson. Big possession coming here for the Purple Knights. Dawson for 3, off the mark, way off. You can tell from here that that was just not going to go. Quest Harris now with it. Warnock. Oh, thought about the 3, but Rob Sanders wide open. Sanders slams it down. Eagles by 9. Timeout Bridgeport with 5:25 to go here in regulation. The Eagles closing in on a huge conference victory to end the regular season. Leading 76-69. And we got a score update too for Bloomfield as well, Bianca.
Yes, 7 minutes to go in the second half. Bloomfield up 66, Caldwell trailing 53.
So a 13-point game there as the cheerleaders are throwing out eggs. I think they're eggs. I was kind of hoping Eliza would launch it into the stands, but she didn't. Our cheerleading team with 5 cheerleaders this year. They've had a few newbies come to the team in recent weeks, and even though you haven't seen them at a lot of the home games, they have been working all year long. Dedicated on and off the court. They were one of the athletic teams to have a perfect 4.0 GPA as a team in the fall. I believe women's soccer was pretty up on there too in terms of team GPA. I can't remember. Did Bianca post that on the women's soccer Instagram earlier this year? She's pulling it up right now.
We were with a 3.61.
3.61, okay. So we've got a lot of smart athletes here at Post University. We've got the volleyball team behind us too, and I think they're around a 3.7 for the fall GPA. Alyssa Groves is right behind me. She hit her 1,000th dig earlier this year. Congratulations again to her. Second all time in dig. She'll probably break the record next year. So be sure to come back to the Drumner Center next fall to watch her in action. Trejo with the ball at the baseline. He gets it inside to D'Souza. D'Souza spins around on Alcey's, got it. D'Souza almost got a piece of Alcey's arm there on him. 7-point game again. Acott with it. Under 5 to go here in regulation. Williams now. There was a stretch in that first half where the Purple Knights had at least 3 or 4 turnovers for easy layups, and the Eagles have cleaned that up so well. That's really what's made a difference here down the stretch. Acott inside. Can't do anything with it, gets it down low to Dieng. Dieng has Alcey at the baseline, he's gonna take that. Shot clock is winding down, Dieng gets it back, and that's gonna count. I thought the initial shot had hit the rim and the shot clock should have reset, but no dice, it was not off the rim, which means it ends up being a shot clock violation because Dieng on the rebound did not get it out of his hands before the shot clock hit 0. So big possession here for Bridgeport as we're under 5. Chance to cut this lead down to 5 or 4, depending on where they shoot from. That's Collins with it. Jacobs over here to my right. D'Souza down low. Back up top to Trail. Trail's fouled by Williams. Doesn't really, it matters in the grand scheme of things in terms of team fouls and everything, but it's not a foul that sends Bridgeport to the line because they've only got 4 in today's game. In this half, I should say. Bridgeport's with 9, so everything from here on out, you're going to the line for 2 shots if you're post. Trail now. That's probably why you've seen that press kind of go away a little bit, because you don't want a ticky-tack foul that puts post at the line for free shots, essentially, even if no time comes off the clock. Jacobs checks out. Intermendi on the nice feed to Dawson. Gotta wonder if he had elevated with that, if he had the easy layup. Wasn't able to. Dawson now inside, kicks off of his foot. Going the other way, post ball. With 3:55 to go. Leading by 7. Harris to inbound. Gets it to Sanders. Sanders tries to work around the defender, he does. Kicks it out to Acott in the corner. Acott passes it up. If you're Coach Kuntz's team right now, Acott's gonna lay that one up and make it a 9-point game. The big thing you wanna think about is on these possessions, wasting as much shot clock as possible. And then getting a good shot towards the end, that's a layup good for Collins, and that's why. If Bridgeport continues to match you, you can take a full 30 off the clock. There's a big difference between taking off only 10, 15 seconds. Acott over to Harris. Harris out to Acott. Dieng at the baseline. Tries to get in, can't do so. Sanders for 3, off the mark. Rebounded by Warnock. Post retains possession. This is what I mean. Now waste down the 20 as much as you can. Give Bridgeport one less possession to work with. We're under 3 to go now. Warnock for 3. No, he's going to go in for it. And now he's trying to fight his way and can't do it. And now that's a Trail rebound. Kicks it out to Intermendi. He's at the baseline, kicks it back out to the corner. Now back up top of it is Dawson. Dawson to Trail. Trail, jumper, no good. Intermendi with the size, able to keep it in. Let's see what they call, staying here. Warnock's arguing was off of Dawson. Bianca, what do you think?
Can't really see from this far.
I agree. That's why I didn't want to make a judgment call on it. I wanted to see if my expert analysis to my left here had a better line of vision than I did. Dawson to inbound. 2:29 to go here in regulation. Sorting some things out, it looks like. It's Intermendi up top. Jumper. Got it. 5-point game. And this is where you have to take as much shot clock off as you can. But you can't get trapped down low. Quest. Harris ahead. What was that? sorry, guys. Rob Sanders, I think he was trying to feed it into Dieng, and he shot it almost. I've seen that happen before where it goes in. Intermendi with the long arms.
Oh, my God.
The long arms nearly had a crazy layup there. Then took a hard foul, which is going to send him to the line for 2. Our head athletic trainer, Hannah, on the court just in case. Shout out to her and the entire athletic training crew.
Hannah is the absolute best. Hannah and Donovan, I vouch to them.
It's Athletic Trainers Month this month.
Oh, it is?
It is. We don't have enough pictures of all of them to post on Instagram just yet.
I've been trying to take pictures of them.
I know we have one of Alexa Scott.
Yes.
And we have, I think, 1 or 2 of Hannah somewhere from earlier in the year during soccer season. But we're waiting to get some more, and then we'll post on one of our days about Athletic Trainers Month. As we're getting a timeout here.
Big respect to the trainers, just going back to that, just because the amount of the time they put into us as student athletes, I don't think we give them enough credit, to be honest.
How have they helped you in your career at Post?
Definitely my first season here, I struggled a lot with cramping, and I would pull muscles like nothing. And Donovan was just an absolute legend helping me out with that.
And what about Jonathan with that thought? I mean, even though he's not an athletic trainer, he is still a trainer.
Jonathan, strength coach Jonathan, yes. Oh, he's the best. He be keeping me fit in the gym. 7:30 in the morning, 3 times a week. Shout out to him.
Bianca caught, I don't even know what they're throwing about. That looked like a veggie stick.
I think that's candy.
Oh. Yeah. Twizzlers maybe? I don't know.
Oh, God. Shout out to the cheerleaders.
Making the most of their one home basketball game that they've been able to get to this year. 2:01 to go. 2 free throws coming here for Bridgeport. Intermendi looks like he's okay after that timeout. I apologize, too, if I've pronounced any of the names wrong for the Bridgeport players. We didn't have a pronunciation guide coming into today, so just apologies for that on this game or the previous one. We're just doing our best with what we've got. Jaden to the line for 2. Short on the first. 2:01 to go in our game. What do we got in the Caldwell game?
20-point lead from Bloomfield. 83-63 Bloomfield.
And it looks like there's only 3 minutes to go in that one, so unless Caldwell pulls off the impossible, which a 20-point comeback in 3 minutes would be pretty impressive. The current results, should they hold, Post would be the 2 seed and be hosting a Tuesday night game, which means doubleheader at the Drub for the quarterfinals. But the Eagles have to take care of business in this final minute and a half. Warnock draped all over, misses.
Foul?
Looks like a late foul there called on Delgado, which will send Warnock to the line for 2. Trying to get information from the CACC website. Again, we will not have opponents for you in terms of who we're playing, but we can tell you what it looks like the matchup, what times at the very least we're going to have. Because the CACC website has laid that out for us as first one goes in, as Bianca said. So, according to the CACC website, again, nothing's set in stone. We want to just say that beforehand before saying this. According to the CACC site, though, if a school is hosting quarterfinal for both men's and women's, the men's game will begin at 5:30. Women's at 7:30. 5:30, 7:30, if this result holds, are your times here. More than likely, we don't have an opponent for you for Post, but it looks like that's what we're headed towards if these results hold, as that Collins 3 makes it a 4-point game. And now we're going to get an offensive foul there. I got to be honest there. I think Intermendi may have flopped just a little bit. I mean, he went back a good 5 feet on that. And now things have changed right here. 4-point game, minute 15 left. Big possession here for Bridgeport. But if this score were to hold, 5:30, 7:30 would be the times. Opponent to be TBD'd still. That's all we know at this time. As Dawson with it, getting into the middle. Dawson stuck just outside the paint. Oh, man. I know the crowd wants that. You could probably hear them, but Collins did not step over the line whatsoever. Collins had a good inch or two of space. Not that it was much. Turnover there by Bridgeport.
Good D from post there.
That's a big turnover.
Mm-hmm.
54.8 to go in regulation. Now here's the thing. Post can waste down the full 30 seconds, get this to 24.8 on the clock. You get a basket, it's still a two-possession game unless you hit a three. Then it's a three-possession game. Now they're going to have to call a timeout. The Bridgeport defense too active right now. So Coach Kuntz will call a timeout.
So players can't call the time. It's the coach that calls.
Players can call timeout too.
Oh, they can?
I actually do believe Williams may have called that.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. Players can call them during the game too. I don't remember though if there's a limit or not.
Mm-hmm.
I think players might only be able to call a certain number if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But in this final 54.8 seconds, Bianca, what does Post have to do to close this one out?
Honestly, they need to just run that clock down, keep possession, keep the momentum of the game, slow it down. That would be my best input.
Is there a shot clock in netball?
No.
There's no shot clock?
No shot clock in netball.
But the clock is constantly running.
Yes, it is constantly running.
Interesting. When basketball was first invented, there was no shot clock either, and I believe I had one of those Scholastic magazines or something as a kid that had a fun fact. The first ever basketball game's final score was 2-0 because there was no shot clock. So neither team would give up possession. So you could just hold it. But you can't do that nowadays. Williams trying to waste clock. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Again, Bridgeport doesn't have to foul here. Akot working in. Warnock. No good on the three. He was looking for the dagger, and that's a 50-50 call there, I got to be honest. Rob Sanders called for the foul, and if you're Post, do not talk to the refs.
No.
I mean, to put it bluntly, it's a 4-point game. The last thing you want is Rob Sanders or Harrison Warnock drawing a technical foul, and like we talked about in the first half, you give Bridgeport 2 free throws and possession. In a 4-point game, that's literally their 4 points right there. Clock stops. These are free shots essentially, though, because of the foul. It's a 1-and-1, though. And sometimes I've seen players unaware of that being a 1-and-1. These players look ready to go. Trail on the first end of it. No good. Rebounded by Dieng. He's going to be fouled by Iturmendi. And Post will go to line for 2. Important to note, though, it is still a 2-possession game no matter what if he makes both of these. Eagles these last 10 minutes or so have really turned it on. I'm looking at the stats right now. 4 scores in double figures. Dieng and Akot with 15 each. Sanders with 14. Warnock with 13. Iturmendi with 4 personal fouls, though. One more and he's out. Quest Harris back in for Rob Sanders. And Bridgeport's going to call a timeout. 26.2 to go. Another free throw coming up here. Eagles looking to close in on that, and even though Bianca's disappointed by it, Bloomfield is winning by 21 with 2 minutes to go.
They definitely turned it around down there. Bloomfield did.
Yeah, and Bloomfield's going to be another tough team if the Eagles have to face them.
Yes.
And I'll take a look at the bracket right now. Again, nothing settled for seeding. But with the win, Post would be in the bottom half of the bracket and play the South's number 3 seed. The South number 3 seed, I mean, it's up for grabs. According to this, I have it at either being Chestnut Hill or Wilmington. But I cannot confirm who it's going to be at. So I don't want to speculate on that, because the tiebreakers are just kind of crazy across the board for that. Although during this timeout I'm looking. Wilmington is 8-7, Chestnut Hill's 8-8. So I guess the easiest way to put it is if Wilmington wins, then you know they're the 3. I didn't look too deep into the tiebreakers, though. to get official notice of that. As I'm looking, Wilmington does lead by 1 over Goldie Beacom with 6 seconds left. So, hey, I actually might be able to get you an opponent before the end of the night. 4 seconds left in that one. Yeah, we're probably going to have this be able to be set up as long as Wilmington holds this lead. We'll be able to confirm for you. At this point, Bloomfield up by 21 with a minute left. They're going to win that. Lock them in at the 1. Wilmington, if they win in the next 4 seconds, lock them in at the 3. Post is playing Wilmington here. Tremendi with the miss. D'Souza gets it back. He's fouled on the rebound and shot. He'll go to the line for 2. It's like Goldie just hit a free throw here. Turnover by Wilmington's going to give the ball back to Goldie. And they've just tied it up at 83 with 1 second left. So probably won't have a final conclusion of that in terms of who we'll see play as Bridgeport misses the first. D'Souza missed that one. D'Souza hitting on the second. Dillon coming back in for D'Souza. Looks like that's a defensive switch for the Purple Knights. Williams the inbound. He struggled at times with the inbound. He's been better in the second half with it. Again, 20 first half points off the turnover. Flip the script if you're the Eagles has been really the name of it, because in the second half with only 7 turnovers, it's a far cry from what we saw in the first half. Acott's fouled.
Jeez.
He'll go to the line for 2. I'm going to see if I can find out what the deal is with the tiebreakers on the other end, because there's just so much to go through in this document outlining it all. No good on the first. So essentially, as I just kind of scanned it during these free throws, if Wilmington loses, they have to go through 5 different descending scenarios, which we don't have time to go through ourselves, obviously. So and it'll depend on how the outcome of the North Division standings are, which we pretty much know at this point with the way things are going. Wilmington's headed to overtime, so definitely will not have a final for you on there, as there are only 6 seconds left in this one. It's a 6-point game, and the Eagles look like they're about to lock up the 2 seed in the North Division. Williams hits the first. And there's Alexis. We were just talking about the athletic trainers walking to our left. Williams now with the last one. No good. Rebounded by D'Souza. Tremendi the other way. He's probably just going to jack it through. No, he's going to go right in. Lays it up. Got it at the buzzer, but it doesn't matter. Post University is going to be heading in to the CACC tournament as the 2 seed with this 86-81 victory. That last basket did count. Bloomfield got the win, so we'll see you back here at 5:30 at the Drumner Center for men's basketball. 7:30 for the women against Goldie Beacom in the quarterfinals. We're going to have a post-game interview for you in a few minutes. But before we sign off, Bianca, what was it like doing your first game?
Honestly, I loved it. I know I was nervous to begin with, but this was really cool. So thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, our play-by-play personnel called out on Thursday night due to car issues. We hope everything's okay with him. And our backup wasn't here, so the backup to the backup was me for this one. And I immediately said, Bianca, do you want to go on play-by-play with me for the game? At least one of them. We tried to get Grace Glassroot on for the first game, and she said, I'll take a rain check. But no matter, we still got Bianca for this game. Thank you for joining me. We'll get Deng Diang out here in a little bit for a post-game interview.
Thank you for having me
on the Nest Network. All right, final here from inside the Drumner Center. Post University 86, University of Bridgeport 81. With that win and the Bloomfield College win, I don't know if you knew this already, dang, but you guys are now the 2 seed heading into the CACC tournament for the North Division, which means you'll be playing at home Tuesday night, 5:30, against a team to be determined. What's it mean to be able to come back here now on Tuesday night and play in a quarterfinal game in front of the home fans?
This is something we've already been talking about for a while with Coach. You know, he's just been keeping us prepared and having us stay ready and working hard every day. So it's nothing new. We just got to keep our minds right and our body right.
Wilmington or Chestnut Hill right now? I have the score on the screen. There's only a minute left. Wilmington's up by 7, but Goldie just made a run at the end of the second half to send it to overtime. No matter who you play, what's the mindset going into that game?
Like Coach just told us right now, it doesn't matter who we play. We just got to stay ready. You know, come in, work hard, and whoever's in front of us, that's what it is. 17
points, 10 rebounds, 7 of 13 shooting. I believe this is your 8th or 9th double-double this year. What has led to your success on this team coming in?
Just being coachable. You know, Coach preaches to us a lot about working hard and doing specific things and attention to detail. So, you know, just got to keep that up, and that's what we've been working.
And what's it been like working with Coach Kuntz this year? Obviously, you're a transfer coming in, newbie on the team. What's it been like working with him this year? You're on the Bevo Francis top 100 list at one point. You had a little bit of a rough stretch middle of the season, but you've turned it on again towards the end of the year.
He's a really great coach. You know, he's very patient. He works with guys. You know, he motivates us a lot. So, you know, day in, day out, we come in and work hard, and that's all he wants to see is just us working hard, playing the hardest we can possibly. He brings the best out of all of us, and it's working, I guess.
And last question, how do you prepare for this upcoming game? What's the next few days look like for you personally, for you guys as a team?
A lot of rehab with our trainer. You know, just taking our time, getting our bodies right. Like I said, our mind right too. Staying focused, locked in the gym, going hard in practice.
Dang Diang, player of the game, 17 points, 10 rebounds for Post University. They get the 86-81 win. We're still waiting to see if they'll play Wilmington or Chestnut Hill College come Tuesday night. That game will come to you at 5:30. Then the woman will come at 7:30 against Goldie Beacom right here at the Drubner Center. We thank you for joining us for today's games. We'll see you on Tuesday night.
Appreciate you.